What's the weirdest smell that you like? There's just something about the smell of the interior of home improvement stores, mainly Home Depot and Lowe's, that's comforting to me. Gasoline. New tires on display in a store. Warm, humid summer evenings when there's a slight hint of possible rain in the air. That smell takes me back. Permanent markers. WD-40. My dog passed away last year, and I still have a blanket that she slept in, and it smells like her. Not exactly a pleasant smell, it smells like dog, but it reminds me of her. Rip Tilly, miss you every day. Red Heart. New books. The smell just after rain never hits quite the same, but is always an odd one to me. That hot plastic smell the garden hose gets in the summertime. Places like Lowe's, Home Depot perpetually smell like this, and I love it. Creosote. Reminds me of going to Six Flags when I was a kid. The log flume rides were always coated in it. Wet asphalt during rain. The smell of the air coming from a window AC unit. Indoor pools. I love that chlorine smell. Coconut scented suntan lotion. It straight up turns me on, and I don't know why. If my wife uses it, she know what's gonna happen. Gasoline smells incredible. Almost wish it was a wax smell. I love it. Me own stank. Petrol smiling face with halo. My vacuum cleaner when it's on. God, that smell is pure bliss. The smell of aviation fuel when you walk out on the tarmac after a flight. The bread aisle at a grocery store. Vinegar. Powerpuff Girl lotion from 2005. Have kept it, never once used it. Every time I clean out the vanity, I smell it. Nostalgic smells that no one else understands. Grinning face with smiling eyes and sweat drop. Chlorine. The scent of a woman. Hoo-oh-yeah. Boob sweat. It's much like baby heads. Bleach. My husband after he comes in from doing yard work in the heat. Something about his sweat mixed with the heat from the sun makes me swoon. Sun-warmed skin. 1960s tube-based equipment warming up. Smoke from matchsticks. My dog's head. Home Depot or Lowe's. I could smell those stores all day. Nose. Gasoline. Pipe smoke or raw tobacco. My favorite candle scent is tobacco and aged leather. Freshly cleaned socks. Also skunk spray, but not in my socks. Shoe polish. A good basement. Something about the ozone, musky dank smell mixed with dryer sheets just gets to me. Reminds me of my grandparents' basement, which is peak basement smell in my mind. When my own farts are super rank. No idea why. That smell old books have. I recently found out it's not limited to books. Old warships have it too. My own farts, face rolling on the floor laughing. Firewood burning. The smell of napalm in the morning. The smell of Barnes & Noble. There's something about books and coffee, man. Post sneeze. I don't know any other way to explain it. That first inhale after you sneeze has a faint smell for a fleeting second, and I love it. I'm gonna sound crazy, but Christmas, like I can't put my finger on it, but it's just that smell. I think I was legitimately insane after I gave birth to my daughter. Postpartum and really hormonal. As a breastfed newborn, I strangely liked the smell of her shitty diapers. I wouldn't immediately throw them away. I collected them on my nightstand, just so I could smell them. The kind of thing you only admit to faceless strangers on Reddit. There's a point after a workout when your gooch is still sweaty, but not like slimmy sweaty, where you can just rub a little onto your finger and give it a whiff. What it is, but I can't stop. Burning leaves. It's a toss-up between a sheet of printed paper off a mimeograph machine. Yes, I'm old. Or Bengay. Garlic when it's in hot oil on the stove. My own B.O. skunk cause it smells dank. I like basking in my own shit smell on the toilet floor of my best friend's porch. It has this musty, earthy smell of garden tools and Wellington boots. I absolutely love it for some weird reason. A Japanese medicine called Saragan. It's mostly made of wood creosote and has a very strong odor, but I love it. My cat lol. Or my own hair. Freshly opened tube of tennis balls. Freshly laid asphalt. There's something about it that I just love. Certain cigarette smokers skunk squirt cigarette smoke. I don't smoke, and don't support it. You're actively putting a carcinogen into your body for a low-dose serotonin reward. But my grandfather smoked, and there was something about snuggling up against his scratchy wool cardigan and that sweet smoky smell of nicotine mixed with his cinnamon and almost bourbon-like cologne that was so comforting. It was like being swaddled with love. Every time I smell cigarette smoke, it's just a nice, pleasant scent. The inside of my dog's ears, they smell like popcorn and unconditional love. Vagina. When the nurse swabs my whole arm before giving blood or platelets. Sorry. Processed raw hamburger. The sweetness is absolutely intoxicating. My ex's armpits. And I don't mean it in a sexual way. I loved her smell, it was comforting. Also, my cat's head. A basketball. My own sneezes. Printed paper, gasoline. Dog food. When you're in the store and walk down the aisle with dog food. Diesel gas exhaust. Mothballs. Real gasoline. Skunk. My boyfriend's house or old people's homes. Which I don't know why I like it, but I just do. Jet fuel. I love that particular smell because I love flying. Gasoline in mechanics shops. Old and dirty car with dust crust on its seats which used to be owned by a heavy smoker before being sold and cleaned 6-8 times to try to get rid of all the years of ashes on the roof. Best smell. My own body odor. Not rank odor, just mild odor. Phenolphthalein. Old vacuums. Tire store. When you walk down the pool chemical aisle at the store. Rain. But it has to be light rain, with the perfect temperature and humidity. Otherwise it doesn't smell. Horse sweat. The smell of new tires. My newborn baby. Cedar shakes. Roof tiles made from cedar wood and creosote. Hot toner ink. Asphalt after a summer sun shower. My kids' sweaty heads. It's like mum crack. Kitten breath. Raw marijuana. Puppy breath. That wet market smell plus the smell of decaying garbage on the streets. We used to have one of those here in our area until the local government decided the smell was too strong. The people should have just adapted to their environment. I know that one silver paint we all used in school at one point or another. Smells like potent vinegar, flowering canola, deep heat. The smell inside planes. New doll. Magazines. Wet dog and chlorine from pools. Well-maintained chicken enclosure. Musty basement. Hot tar going down on a road. Love that smell. Also two-stroke engine exhaust. Hardware store. Tire store. Bleach mixed with warm salted mayonnaise. There's this one men's cologne that I really like because it reminds me of my childhood. But it's weird cause I was never around any guys besides my dad. I was homeschooled and he never wore cologne. Lol. New tires in tire store. WD-40. My rabbit's head, she just smells so good, like sometimes I just walk over pick her up just to smell her head. Face with tears of joy. Loudly crying face. Hotels. Especially when they have pools and hot tubs. I know it's just chlorine but it still smells nice when you first walk in the hotel. It just makes you feel more comfortable in a way. How to explain it? You know when you haven't showered that day yet and you scratch your balls? That natural body odor. Not stinky, not clean either. Somewhere in between. Weird. Oh, I love the smell of a lumber yard. As a kid, my dad took me with him every week and it takes me back to being small and secure with my big strong dad. Zippo lighter fluid. The smell when you just light a cigarette, but it hasn't been smoked yet. I don't smoke at all. I don't mind when people do, but I try to stay away from it if I can. However, the freshly lit smell is something different. The smells of hotels. Why it's so addicting. I mean, what kind of air freshener do they use? Closed fist. It's been years since I've cultured E. coli in a flask, but I remember liking that funky smell. The smell of one of my air biscuits. I can't help but experience my asshole's complex bouquet. Gasoline. First thing I would do when I would buy a pack of magic cards was to smell the cards. Now I do it with books. New sneakers. Gasoline. Turns out everyone likes the smell, so it shouldn't be weird anymore. The weirdest is not liking it. Exhaust smoke. Brand new books. Foam, especially if there's some gun oil on it. Source. My dad's gun safe. I always saved my breath for when it was freshly opened. My God, it was fantastic. Markers. I grew up on a farm. Parents are still out there. I'm now in town, but I try to visit often. Smells like home to me. Others might say it smells like cow shit. With that said, my dad would respond to this question with silage, which is just beyond me. WD-40, a horse barn or just a farm in general. It smells like shit, but it's comforting and I kind of love it. Horse smell is so good. Grass and books lol. Wet gravel. Baby copper tone sunscreen. I was just going to say gasoline. And here it is at the top of the thread. My baby's spit. It's slightly stinky but so cute. And pure loudly crying face.